It's one of those moments to be at the Santos Women's Tour Down Under. It's the first time that there's been a UCI women's race in Australia since before 2010. It brings back the era of starting the international season here in Australia. As an Australian former cyclist, racing in international tours in Australia was a great way for Aussies to get some points at the front end of the season. But really what it's doing is creating a truly global women's scene for cycling. And the fact that the Santos Tour Down Under have, in only 3 years, from having a state level women's event to a national level event to an international women's event, that shows the commitment there is in the stakeholders in the sport to put women on the same platform.
There are always challenges putting on any event, and I think actually it's complemented by having the men's race here rather than seeing it as a challenge. People realize that they've known about the Tour Down Under for many years, and then you start to tell them, hey, have you seen the women's race? So you come out and watch. Oh, do we have that now? And I think people in general are so excited. So there's always challenges running any type of event, but it's actually, we really found it to be really, really easy. People are very, very willing to come out and assist and want to be a part.
So the Santos Tour Down Under has been running for 17 or 18 years now. It started small, it started with small crowds. It started not as a World Tour event, and it built up over those years to become the first World Tour event in the world, starting this season. Having the women's race alongside puts it on the platform where the attention is on the women. All of a sudden people have said, wow, the women's race is on, I'm going to ride out to watch that. Can we see more of that? Wow, they're strong, they're fast, they're furious. So what it's showing is how competitive women are and how women's sport on the whole, but we're focusing on cycling here, women's sport is worth looking at, worth being interested in, and the crowds come and the spectators follow, and then more kids will get involved and on you go.
So what's it like? This is one of the few days you cross over with the men's race as well. What does that bring to this women's race?
Firstly, amazing crowds, really supportive crowds. The spectators out there are awesome. It's a great circuit, the music's pumping, the atmosphere is really high, and we get that at a lot of races in Australia, but certainly not to this extreme. So, I think we're really honoured to be incorporated with the men's race, and the women's race is growing every year. Santos do an amazing job, and with its UCI status now, I think it's only going to get bigger.
What does this race give the NRS riders? Because that's another big thing. It's for a lot of these girls, this is the first time they will have raced against some of the best in the world.
I was just speaking to a couple of our local riders yesterday at the team presentation, and they were overjoyed, just absolutely beside themselves that they were on the start line with these big name riders, Valentina Scandallara and Tiff Cromwell, and there's a host of names that we have here with the teams. And so for them, again, it's seeing things at the next level, being able to be part of that, and also holding their own. We have some incredibly talented women riding within the NRS system.